Fans are upset, and the boxing community is divided over whether the draw between Gervonta, Tank Davis and Lamont Roach was fair or a robbery. Many people thought Davis would easily beat Roach, but Roach's surprising performance left even experienced pros in shock. Gary Russell Jr. didn't hold back in his reaction to the controversial draw. He admitted he had underestimated Roach and raised questions about Davis's strategy during the fight. Russell pointed out that Davis didn't seem to approach the fight in the way many expected, and that might have been a key factor in the outcome. The debate continues over whether the decision was the right one or if Roach did enough to earn the win.
I gotta take my hat off to the Lamont Roach. I think that he surprised me. He did a little more than I expected. I still feel as though that Tank, he fought down a little bit. I don't feel like Tank really mashed on the gas like that. He did a bunch of whining and complaining. You need to stop that shit. That ain't cool. Tank was whining like, in my personal opinion, I thought Roach edged it out. I thought Roach actually edged it out a little bit.
Gary Russell Jr. didn't hold back when it came to criticizing Gervonta Tank Davis after his controversial draw with Lamont Roach. Russell pointed out that Tank failed to take control of the fight, even questioning his behavior inside the ring. While some felt the draw was fair, Russell was clear that Roach did enough to win the fight. Keith Idec was even more direct, saying Tank should have suffered his first career loss, especially after taking a knee in the 9th round. Many fans and analysts agreed with Idec's opinion, arguing that Roach deserved a split decision victory. One of the most vocal critics was Gary Russell Jr., who didn't sugarcoat his thoughts on Tank's performance. He felt Davis fought below his usual level and Roach exceeded expectations. Russell believed Roach deserved the win, and he was confident that a split decision in Roach's favor was the right call. With so many different opinions and the controversy surrounding the result, the big question remains, did Roach get robbed, or was the draw the fair outcome? Tank Davis added another twist to the drama by claiming that his hair grease might have played a role in his less-than-ideal performance. In his post-fight interview, he explained that he had his hair styled just 2 days before the fight. He suggested that the leftover grease from his stylist got into his eyes and affected his vision during the bout. Tank said, "I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my sides. When you're sweating like that, the grease came into my face and it burned my eyes." The comment quickly went viral, with fans either mocking the excuse or questioning whether it had anything to do with his struggles in the ring. Lamont Roach, however, wasn't buying it. When asked about Tank's claim, Roach responded by breaking it down, step by step, leaving little room for doubt in his mind about the fight's outcome.
Oh, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you could see him wipe his other eye. So it's like it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say it's grease in my eye.
Lamont Roach quickly shot down Gervonta Tank Davis's claim that his eye irritation was caused by hair grease. Roach pointed out that Davis didn't show any signs of eye problems until after taking a clean punch. He highlighted how Tank wiped his right eye right after a jab, and then wiped his left eye after another clean shot. Roach found it hard to believe that grease was to blame, suggesting it was more about the punches Davis took. Roach's response only added fuel to the fire. Now, the question was whether Tank was making an excuse for his performance or if the hair grease really had an impact. Either way, it was another strange twist in an already controversial night. Former world champion George Kambosos Jr. couldn't resist jumping into the drama. He posted a tweet mocking Tank Davis, saying, "Did he say grease in the hair?" Kambosos' tweet quickly gained attention, as it played off the idea that Tank's excuse for his eye problems was more of a cop-out than a genuine reason. Known for his outspoken nature, Kambosos saw an opportunity to poke fun at Davis, adding even more fuel to the fire and turning the hair grease excuse into something to laugh about. The drama didn't stop there. Boxing legend Oscar de la Hoya also weighed in, calling attention to one of the most talked-about moments in the fight, Tank Davis taking a knee. While the official ruling was a draw, de la Hoya questioned whether the decision should be revisited. He made it clear that, in his opinion, Tank was lucky the fight wasn't scored differently.
This is my opinion.
Sure.
It was a great fight. It was a close fight. Depending on what they do, decision of taking the knee. Depending if the commission reverses the decision, or I think a draw was meant to be. If you take a knee in the 90s or in 2000, you're taking a point off. That's the bottom line. You're taking a point off. I don't know what happened with the referee. Maybe he was a little starstruck. Maybe he was a little, because he loves Tank. He loves New York. He loves the big lights. The referee with the eyes,
Oscar de la Hoya didn't hold back when discussing the controversial draw between Gervonta, Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. His main issue wasn't just the close scorecards, but the fact that Tank wasn't penalized for going down voluntarily. He compared it to past eras, saying that in the 90s or early 2000s, if a fighter took a knee, it would automatically result in a point deduction. De la Hoya even suggested that the referee might have been influenced by the moment, hinting at favoritism toward Davis. He stated, "A point should be deducted if you take a knee, it's a fact, it's in the rulebook. The fact that they didn't take it away, that's where the controversy is." De la Hoya was clear that Tank's situation wasn't about whether he got hit or was dazed, it's about the rules. He added, "This isn't basketball, where you get to take a timeout. You don't take timeouts in boxing, you have to fight. There are 3 minutes in each round, and if you take a knee, the rules are the rules." His firm stance on boxing's fundamentals added even more tension to an already heated debate. Was the referee too lenient? Should the commission revisit the decision? And did Tank's knee cost Roach the win of his career? Shakur Stevenson quickly threw his name into the mix, adding his perspective after the controversial draw. On social media, Stevenson kept his response measured but made it clear he was ready for a fight, posting, "I ain't even gone lie, dude like he would do me, but I'm still ready and willing to fight. Let's make it happen." While Stevenson didn't go hard on Tank like Davis has done to him in the past, his message was clear: he's not here to pile on, but he's still waiting for his shot. The controversy surrounding Tank's performance only added more fuel to the conversation about a potential fight between Stevenson and Davis. As many questioned the judging and whether Roach did enough to secure the win, Robert Garcia pointed out a harsh reality in boxing. When fighting a superstar like Tank, the margin for victory is much higher. He explained, "Close rounds are more likely to go to the bigger name, especially when that fighter is bringing in millions." Garcia emphasized that when fighting a champion like Tank, you need to dominate, or you risk getting overlooked due to the business side of boxing. Garcia didn't outright call it a robbery, but he made it clear that a fighter like Roach has to do more than just win rounds. You have to do a little extra to make sure those rounds go your way, especially when you're up against a superstar, he said. This raised a big question: was Roach's performance undervalued because he wasn't the big name fans came to see? Would he have gotten the benefit of the doubt if the roles were reversed and Tank was the underdog? Edgar Berlanga didn't hold back either. After watching the fight, he posted on social media, "You the bed, little at Gervonta." His words added even more fuel to the already fiery conversation about Tank's performance. Was this just trash talk, or is Berlanga setting the stage for a grudge match down the line? Either way, calling out one of boxing's biggest stars in such a blunt manner ensures this beef won't go unnoticed. Zab Judah also saw the bigger picture when talking about a potential rematch between Tank and Lamont Roach. Judah, already hyping up what could be an even more intense fight, said, "If you think this fight was technical, that fight is going to be super technical. My guy, that's going to be a super masterclass chess match." He didn't pick a winner, but he did emphasize how much respect Roach had earned, especially considering he wasn't even expected to be in this conversation. Judah noted that Roach proved the doubters wrong and pointed out that Roach had come off the bench and was now being compared to some of the top fighters in the world. Roach's performance has completely changed the narrative, showing he's more than just an underdog. But the question remains, if Tank and Roach face off again, will Roach do it again, or will Tank make sure there's no debate this time around? Danny Garcia took a different angle when reflecting on Tank's performance. While others blamed the referee, the judging, or even the alleged hair grease incident, Garcia focused on Tank's mindset. "Did you see some of that with Tank tonight? He's been talking about retirement," Garcia said. "Your words become flesh, so whatever you put out there, it's going to come back to you." Garcia made it clear that Tank's complacency might have played a role in his lackluster showing. He believes that nights like these, when a fighter doesn't look their best, can serve as a wake-up call. "Sometimes you need nights like this to go back to the drawing board and make adjustments," he said. Garcia suggested that this fight might be the moment Tank realizes he can't afford to overlook opponents or get too comfortable at the top. Chris Algieri weighed in from a different perspective, acknowledging that Tank wasn't at his best, but he also gave Roach the credit he deserved. Algieri pointed out that Roach's skill set played a big role in Tank's struggles. Lamont Roach is the guy. He showed up, Algieri said. Tank gave him a tremendous amount of respect in the fight. Algieri highlighted Roach's ability to counter effectively and his high boxing IQ. Roach stunned Tank several times, Algieri noted, and while many expected Tank to dominate, it was clear that Roach was dictating key moments in the fight. Tank, known for walking down opponents, was hesitant at times, and Algieri credited Roach for making the fight much more competitive than anyone expected. Jake Paul, known for his bold opinions, also reacted to the controversial draw. He posted on social media, "He got lucky with the draw. He did a good fight, though. I thought he won it, but man, he got to create more action. That's a sparring session as far as I'm concerned. Goddamn, that's not the Tank I know." Jake didn't hold back, calling the fight a sparring session and criticizing Tank for not living up to his usual standards. His blunt reaction only added more fuel to the ongoing discussion about Tank's performance. Shakur Stevenson's trainer didn't hold back either, offering insight into Roach's growth and how it helped him in the fight. He said, "We knew Lamont was going to be a problem for Tank. We had him in a couple of camps, and I saw his progress. The experience he got from sparring with us gave him an advantage." His perspective highlighted how Roach had prepared better than many thought, specifically noting how his speed and technique were honed by sparring with someone like Stevenson. Keith Thurman also gave his thoughts on the controversial draw. He pointed out that a majority draw in such a high-stakes fight shows it was a close, tough battle. Thurman suggested that, given the excitement and controversy, a rematch would likely be needed. He also addressed the incident of Tank taking a knee, acknowledging the conflicting opinions on whether it should have been ruled a knockdown. Thurman emphasized that boxing is often decided by tiny details, and he felt Tank was lucky the point wasn't deducted, as that could have cost him the championship. The controversial draw between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach has sparked heated debates and raised many questions. Was the draw fair, or should one fighter have been given the win? With the controversy surrounding the fight, a rematch seems almost inevitable. If it happens, it promises to be an even bigger spectacle. Do you think a rematch is the right call? Was the draw fair, or should one fighter have come out on top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.